Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Huddle.
Where even after just some disappointment and pain, we talk about football.
And we will only be talking about football for another 3 weeks. Or I guess this is week 3 of... I don't know. You get what I'm saying.
It's late.
Until the offseason. We're not going anywhere. But okay. Until the offseason. Playbook 4 today. We got NFL news. I think Elijah's doing a on the wing if Goodell was good. We got some playoff talk. Of course, a steel curtain session. If you're following what's happening at the quarterback situation, you would know that this is huge. And then we are going to have some award predictions for the upcoming week. So, NFL news. Here we go. Chiefs win the Lamar Hunt Trophy for the third straight year. That's really annoying. But they are the AFC North champions, or no, AFC champions, and the Eagles are the champions of the NFC.
Yeah, let's get an Eagles chant. ELGSES Eagles.
Oh. Okay, JETS.
Enough with the Jets, man.
Yeah, enough with the Jets. I wanted to talk about them, and Elijah told me no. He said we can wait. Speaking of the Jets, they hired former Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, and he said this was the team he really wanted to go to, and this is the team he got to go to. So
he also said he would be willing to have Aaron Rodgers back.
That's what I was going to talk about, and I'm going to stop myself. So, anyways, moving on. Actually, no. More news about the Jets. Darren, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Mohey?
Mohey? I don't know.
Maybe. Anyways, he is the new GM. Was he the GM of the Broncos, or was he the assistant?
GM.
Yeah, he was the assistant GM from Denver, and he is now going to be in New York. So, big changes from the owner, from the GM to the coach. Maybe it lasts down to the quarterback. We won't know, and we're not going to talk about it. Last one I'll talk about here. The Raiders hire former Seahawks coach Pete Carroll. That means Marshawn Lynch, you are going to be a Raider again.
Or Russell Wilson.
He doesn't like you because he didn't want to run with you the goal line. Anyways, they also hire John Spike. Once again, another weird GM last name, but he was from the Buccaneers.
Yes. And now the Cincinnati Bengals, they hire Al Golden as their defensive coordinator from Notre Dame, who was their defensive coordinator.
Who had the number one defense in the country this past year. I think so.
Yeah, I don't know, but it didn't really show in the final game. Texans fire offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick, who was in talks to be a coach a year or two ago, but obviously that didn't go well for him. Cowboys hire Brian Schottenheimer as, I don't actually know if that's how you say it, but as head coach.
Maybe. I don't know.
They may have auto-corrected when I put it in, so I really don't know if that's the right thing. And I've never heard of the guy. So he's their former OC, and instead of hiring outside, they just, gave him a promotion.
Classic cheap billionaire move.
Right. And then they hired Matt Eberflus as their defensive coordinator.
Which looks great for the rest of the league because Dallas' downfall has officially started. Come back to this next year.
Yeah. Jaguars hire Liam Cohen, who was the Buccaneers offensive coordinator after they had talked extensions, and I guess he wasn't answering them or whatever. But next, the 49ers are bringing back Robert Saleh, who was the former Jets coach and obviously was a former defensive coordinator for them. And they brought him back. Lions expected to hire Johnny Morton, the Broncos passing coordinator, and he's going to be their offensive coordinator, assuming that goes through. And then Titans hire Mike Borgonzi as their general manager, and he is from Kansas City, assistant GM from the Chiefs.
So basically what we're seeing is if you want to become a general manager in the league, you got to have a really weird last name.
That is true.
So I think Jenkins and Kilmer is probably off limits, but we're owning the NFL one day, so it's okay.
It's true.
Speaking of the guy who owns the NFL, Roger Goodell, we're back with another If Goodell Was Good. I have no clue what he's going to say. He probably has no clue what he's going to say. But if Goodell was good, Elijah, take it away.
All right, so this has to do with championship week, and this is just stuff that I've been seeing and randomly hearing, and now I'm just going to try to put it together. So championship week, what if the championship games were at a neutral site? Just kind of like college football. They just have, I don't know where they would play, but let's say that they were in two stadiums that were not Kansas City or Philadelphia. Would that not give as much edge to one team, or would that have any effect at all? Who knows? But
I think that takes away the purpose of fighting for the number one seed.
Yes.
Other than an easier route to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But also, it would give, everybody a better chance in the championship game. I'm not saying I'm fully agreeing with this, but like I said, I just heard this today and I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea.
It's not like the championships have been bad.
No.
These past 2 years at all.
No.
We'll talk about maybe the Commanders game a little bit later. I mean, 3 huge fumbles cost them the game. I mean, there's no arguing it. And then the Chiefs game, I would say a very either-or call with Josh Allen on that 4th down run. He had it, by the way. He had the first down. I don't know. I like home field advantage.
And then my second part to this is also kind of a joke, but I kind of like it too. Who can say no to more football? Championship week, they should also have the game for the first round pick of the draft, where the 2 worst teams will play, and whoever wins will receive that first overall pick in the draft.
Who wins? See, I was going to say for a second, I do not want to watch Mason Rudolph play against DTR.
Yeah. No, you have to.
Worse. But I like it if you win. I like that idea, actually.
Yeah. So they would obviously battle it out. I would probably be like a Thursday night game, only to keep it away from like the actual.
Well, the Thursday night games usually suck anyway, so.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But just for more football. I mean, I'm always down to watch more football.
Who is never down for football? Probably baseball guys.
I know my mother is not.
My mom. No, my mom likes football. She doesn't like whenever she can hear me from 3 floors from the basement screaming about Lord knows what call Arthur Smith made on 3rd down.
Yeah, probably a check down. But yeah, that is my championship week. If Goodell was good,
I don't hate it.
Just on the fly.
I like the second part.
Okay.
Let him dole it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for that.
All right, moving on. Let's get into some playoff talk.
Where we talk about playoffs.
I'm not making a graphic for that, so. What do you think? Let's start with the NFC.
Okay.
55-23.
Yeah. So,
ugly.
Yeah.
Really, really ugly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really just came down to turnovers.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
But here's one thing. Jalen Hurts had a very nice game.
We were talking crap on Jalen Hurts last week, and he said in the interview, Sirianni what did he say? Let him off his leash, let him out of the cage, something like that, and let him play his game.
I mean, 4 total touchdowns. I know most of those were tush pushes, but still, I mean, that's, Stats are a good thing to have, and 20 of 28, pretty good, 246 yards, no picks. So I think he had a great game. Saquon
Right.
Barkley obviously went off again. 3
That first
touchdowns,
play.
118. Yeah, jeez. I don't even know. It was pretty
I would,
insane.
now that Josh Allen and Lamar are both out of the playoffs, I have a very, very strong case for Saquon to be MVP.
Yeah, but I don't think it's based on playoff.
Well, they haven't
well
even
you do in
voted yet,
playoffs.
right?
I think they have voted yet. I think they vote like week 18. I
Maybe
think that's the whole point. Like
to keep playoff bias
playoffs don't.
outside of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no MVP. I mean, okay, cool. Lamar plays good in the regular season every year. What the heck has he done in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? What does that deserve to be MVP?
But I mean, it really is they really all are regular season awards though. Like, you think like Joe Burrow, like he's in the MVP race, I think, but
Yeah, and he just
obviously
did about as much as what Lamar did in the playoffs.
yeah.
He didn't even play. So, anyways,
yeah. Will Shipley did some crazy stuff at the end of the game.
Yeah, Will Shipley
that
did do some crazy stuff at the end of the game. 4 rushes, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
Yep.
Not too crazy. Or not too bad. Kind of crazy. A.J. Brown, much more involved in the passing game. 6 catches, 96 yards, and, of course, the touchdown on that rookie that really sold a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the defense. What's his name? It's like starts with Senator or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even record a stat.
Dang.
So, no, he did.
Yeah,
Mike,
he did, yeah.
Mike
Saint Ristel.
Something like that. And I'm just gonna point this out here right now. As long as I don't have to look at him, Tom Brady, man, he's taught me a lot about football. It makes you realize why this dude did win 7 Super Bowls. What he said about that corner, about being flat-footed and like not getting pushed back. I know, like I never played football, so maybe that's knowledge some of you may have had. But guy's a genius, and
yeah, I mean,
I thought it's been cool what I've learned from him.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I just think his voice is annoying, and listening to the guy who's beat everybody to the
Killer Bees at least 8 times. Yeah. Oh yeah. Still ticks me off, but
we get rid of him and then he just comes back and now we're gonna hear him forever again. So
right. Last thing about this game in the NFC, let's talk about what DJ said is going to be the X factor for the Commanders. He said the running game. They had a total of 99 yards. 48 came from Jaden Daniels. Eckler had 15. Brian Robinson Jr. had 36.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I would have any of these running backs back next year.
No.
Like, I genuinely would just get, trade Brian Robinson. Austin Eckler's deal is up, I'm pretty sure. And, I mean, they played well. It's just, they're not any kind of game changer, I don't think.
I would say if they had a top 15 back, top 10 back, you have a shot in this game.
Yeah.
And they did. They did have a shot. They came out. That first shot was really, really good. 18 plays just for a field goal. I mean, okay. Just for Saquon to come and score 1 play later. But that fumble off the kick return is what really.
Yeah, it was just about turnovers towards the end, it was just, turnover.
It was just sloppy. It was just a beatdown by the end of it. But, yeah, Diami Brown, he fumbled. Jeremy Nicholas fumbled. Austin Eckler fumbled. Really, really bad. And if I'm Dan Quinn, I don't even know. I don't know. I'd be furious. But I think he has to be happy with what this team did this season.
Yeah, where do you put – this is something that is kind of like Oh, that never comes up. But where do you put Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz on like your tight end list? Like they've been really good this year. I mean, Zach Ertz had 11 receptions for 104 yards, and Dallas Goedert had 7 for 85, averaging 12.1 yards per reception. So
I watched a lot of Commanders games this year. I would say at least over half of them, which is, I would say, a lot for a guy that predominantly watches Steelers games.
yep,
Um, Zach Ertz, his stats, not anything terrific. 66 catches, 654 in yards, and then 7 touchdowns. But I feel like he was such a crucial part of this team all
yeah.
season.
I mean, 7 touchdowns is still pretty
No,
nice.
not at all. It's not bad. And he says he intends to, he doesn't want to retire. He intends to come back. As for
Yeah,
Goddard, he had 42 catches, 496 yards, and only 2 touchdowns.
he
I
was
do
hurt
think he
for
was hurt.
majority. Yeah,
Yeah, he
majority
was
of the
hurt
season he
majority of
was
the
hurt.
year. But to put up halfway to 1K in the games that he did play, I don't know. I don't think either of these guys. I mean, I think Zach Ertz on his day, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, was greatest tight end in the league. I don't think there's any
Hmm.
argument in that. When they won the Super Bowl, he was the best tight end in the league. Goddard, I can see him top 8 if he plays his game, if he stays healthy.
Hmm.
There's just a lot of targets on that team. Obviously, their identity is not in tight end,
Yeah.
but I think Zach Ertz did his job of being a safety valve all season long, being a reliable guy to Jaden Daniels, and I think Goddard, of course, did his job as well,
Hmm.
getting open, getting blocks, and I think he's a very successful part in the run game of Saquon Barkley. So,
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, let's and also give credit to the Eagles' offensive line, who basically, Saquon wouldn't
played
be
beat
doing what
up,
he's
hurt,
doing. Yeah, really,
and
and they
still let
still.
Saquon run wild. And
Yep.
I would say the one thing that did win the Eagles this game is that defensive line.
Hmm.
Ridiculous. They know how to play ball, man.
Yep.
All
Nick
right.
Fangio, awesome
Yeah.
coordinator.
Yeah, I would argue that was probably the best coach move of the season,
Hmm.
coordinator wise.
Yeah.
But here we go. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs Buffalo Bills game. We could have had multiple Bills fans on the show tonight. They opted out. Connor said it's because he's too tired. I know that's a bunch of malarkey. Um, he just don't want to talk about how Mahomes is his daddy. But
Yeah. Really.
39-29 or 32-29 total. Jeez. 32-29 final in Kansas City. Initial thoughts on that game, Elijah?
Well, it was very interesting. I honestly
Always
thought that
is.
the first drive of the Bills to get the 3 was a little slow, but I think no. The first drive, Josh Allen almost threw 2 interceptions. That's what happened.
We saw flashbacks of 2019 Josh Allen for a second.
Yeah. And then the Chiefs went right down and scored. I'm like, uh-oh. And then the Bills came back. It was still kind of a slow drive, but they got 3 points. And I was really getting worried then. But, they've kept it close throughout the whole entire game. And it just came down to that one stop that the Chiefs had. But, yeah, you know what? I want to give credit to Kareem Hunt, who I think this is probably his second best season of his career since his rookie year, which is crazy because they just picked him up to be a backup to Isaiah Pacheco after he got hurt, and he put up in pretty nice stats for, his age and the amount of times he's moved around in the NFL.
He was okay when he was with the Browns. I'll never forget what he did to us in that playoff game.
Yeah,
but I would say he is pretty. He can still play pretty decent football this year.
Yeah.
You look at the quarterback stats. Very similar. Mahomes had 6 more yards than... No, I think he had 11 more. But they were super close. Both were sacked twice. Allen threw 1 more touchdown. So, you're looking at 2 quarterbacks that are good quarterbacks. I feel like Josh Allen played really, really scared, almost.
Yeah, he was nervous.
My dad said it. He was like, I don't know. We were sitting on the couch and he was like, I know they're not. He's like, you can't be. He's like, but why? He's like, why are they? Why do they look scared? He's like, why
Mm-hmm.
are they afraid to just get hit?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Good.
yeah, I just think that overall, they did not play terrible. They didn't play bad. The receivers really stepped up, and they
Mm-hmm.
have not had like the Stephon Diggs that they could have had this season. Um, Keon Coleman really hasn't been anything too special. Matt
No.
Collins obviously had 3 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown. James Cook over 100 yards, over 130 yards, I think, in both the rushing and passing game. So they're right there. They really are. I would say the
What?
thing that lost in the game is you absolutely knew the ball was coming out of the backfield on that last fourth down.
Yeah.
And what did you do? You don't press the running back. You just play your normal zone defense or man, whatever they were in. And you almost knew. I mean, it's common sense. Chiefs are putting everybody in the middle, getting everybody caught up, and they're going to dish it out to a running back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if that linebacker knew that was his responsibility to get Piron out of the backfield, just go get him. Like, you got to, I don't know. I think that's what the loss in the game. There's
I
no
mean, that's
reason for him to have waited that long. I mean,
yeah.
Piron's lined up on the left. It's not like he's going to come over to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just trying to keep it simple. It's fourth down. This puts them in the Super Bowl. They're not trying to overthink it. And I think
Yeah.
the Bills overthought it.
And I think that's really what we're doing all the whole night. The Chiefs is really it's like roll out to the left or right and check it down to a running back or take it. In that case, he just uh, took the check down to the running back. But I mean, that's what killed the Bills. The whole game was just
Yeah.
the small
Yeah, the Chiefs
passes.
play really, really annoying football.
Mm-hmm.
Really annoying football.
Yeah, but I think another thing that killed him was Bernard getting injured
Yeah,
and Kyrie coming in and doing nothing.
absolutely nothing. Really, really.
Probably the worst cornerback play I've seen since uh,
James
Levi
Pierre,
Wallace.
Artie Burns.
Levi Wallace, probably.
Yeah, Sean Davis. I think he was a
Yeah,
safety, but he sucked.
yeah, he sucked. But yeah, that was
JPJ.
one thing. JPJ,
When
yeah,
he wants to.
yeah, that's
And the
true.
last thing, Kelsey, man,
Yeah, where was he at?
2 catches, 19 yards. First time he played um, the Bills this season, I think he went 2 for 9, 2 for 10, something like that.
hmm Well, that's really been Kelsey all year. It's just
Has
he
not
doesn't.
been up to par
But
of
I
what
mean,
Kelsey.
you're planning your defense to stop Kelsey, and so they're. I mean, that's taken away some defense for the Bills. So now you've got other opens because you've got great targets. I mean, Xavier Worthy had a very nice game. Juju came out of nowhere again, like he always does, and had a nice game. Well, 2 catches, 60 yards, but still, that's a pretty nice stat.
His catches, yeah, they were big.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown. I mean, I guess that's really it in the receiving game, but I mean, it worked. They, you know, Kelsey didn't need to be involved for them to still win. So, um, yeah, and I think it really did come down to running because I mean, Mahomes had 11 rushes, 2 touchdowns, and Kareem Hunt had 17. So, um, yeah, they can. They're just the Chiefs. I said it. They're no one's stopping the playoff Chiefs. No one's
No, I was
stopping
going to
playoff
bring that up.
Mahomes.
You said it probably week 8. They can play the worst football they can,
Yep.
like and still win games in the regular season. But as soon as playoffs hits, ain't
Yeah,
nobody beating the Chiefs.
it's another animal. The only way to stop Mahomes is kick him out of the playoff. Like don't let
Yeah,
him
like
win
which
regular season games.
not many people do other than Tom Brady and Joe Burrow once.
Yeah. So I mean, if there's ever a chance that Mahomes is injured, which I'm not wishing upon him, that would be our really only chance to see the Chiefs not have a chance for the Super Bowl.
Right.
Because I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
but he fakes all those injuries and then he comes back and acts like
it does.
It's so
He got
annoying.
injured. He got injured this week.
That's what I'm saying.
Apparently.
He gets ankle and knee injury, bro. Are you
Yep.
kidding me? The third down runs he usually has against these in these games is like, oh, really? He's hurt. Okay, my butt.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bills, Commanders. I would say for the Bills, this was a disappointment of what they could have done, what they should have done. For the Commanders, Super Bowl's next year, man. I think they got a real shot.
They got a future. They definitely have a future.
And funniest moment of the week, Frankie Louvu. That was hilarious.
Oh my.
If you don't know, just look up Frankie Louvu, and I'm sure the people will come up.
Apparently, a rule is if you keep having penalties, they can get awarded a touchdown.
That's bull. No, there's no I feel like that's so dumb. Maybe because they were that close to the end zone.
I mean, if you just keep getting penalties, it's like in Madden when you keep doing it, you get kicked out. It's almost exactly like that.
Right.
There's got to be a way to stop you from doing them. So, I mean, whatever. But I honestly, that would have been really fun to watch that happen, and I kind of.
Oh, it was entertainment for me. Yeah.
Who would be awarded the touchdown?
Hasn't come in yet, and I don't think I'm returning it though. I think I might just keep it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. We got a couple other things we got to get through before the end of the episode, but let's go award predictions, and then we'll wrap it up with hopefully a quick Steel Curtain session, which.
It won't be.
Anyways, award predictions. We got MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of Defense and Offense, and then Comeback Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. I don't feel like reading up everything, but the guys up for MVP is Josh Allen, Saquon, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Lamar Jackson.
Jared Goff is crazy to me.
I know it.
Anyway.
But, yeah, I know. It's bad. I don't understand how he's in there. I don't know how he's in there. Defensive Player of the Year, Zach Bond, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, PS2, TJ Watt. Offensive Player, Saquon, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. Offensive Rookie, Brock Bowers, JD, Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, BTJ. And then, what?
Look at all those LSU guys.
I know. Ryan Kelly. What are you doing, bro? Or whatever his name is. Yeah. He's ticking me off. And Pat Narduzzi needs to leave. Anyways, Defensive Rookies of the Year, Cooper DeJean, Braden Fisk, Quinyon Mitchell, Chop Robinson, and Jared Verse. AP Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow, Sam Darnold, J.K. Dobbins, Christian Gonzalez, DeMar Hamlin. Coach of the Year, Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, Sean Payton, Dan Quinn, Andy Reid, and we do not care about the AP Assistant Coach of the Year.
We do not care.
But just in case you care, it's Joe Brady, Vic Fangio, Brian Flores, Aaron Glenn, and Ben Johnson.
And most importantly, your host will be Snoop Dogg himself.
I cannot wait. The NFL honors have been so great. So great.
Yeah.
I actually don't.
Keegan-Michael Key is one of my favorites.
That was maybe the best thing. It was a great song because he made fun of so many. Listen, lock in. Here we go. These are our award predictions before, of course, the NFL honors this upcoming week. MVP, no. Coach of the Year, Elijah, who do you got?
Coach of the Year, I am going to give it to I guess Dan Campbell. Yeah, Dan Campbell. No. Yeah, Dan Campbell. Sorry.
Okay. I would say, I want to say Kevin O'Connell.
Okay. That was
if not, Dan Quinn. Absolutely Dan Quinn.
Okay.
Yeah. Comeback Player of the Year.
Sorry, I gotta keep looking at these up because I don't even remember who's there. Comeback Player of the Year. Oh my gosh, why is DeMar still on this list? I'm sorry.
Seriously, no hate, but bro, Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Sam Darnold. No. Yeah, Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Burrow.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm gonna say Sam though.
They won't give it to Burrow because I think he'll win another award, but I'll say Burrow for this one.
Yep.
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
This one is really tough for me, so you go first.
Verse.
Really?
Yeah, Jared Verse.
I'm gonna go. I really like to say Braden Fisk, and I really like to say Quinyon Mitchell, but I feel like it's gonna go to Verse. But I'm just gonna say Quinyon Mitchell.
Okay. Yeah, he was lockdown. Man, he was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, this is so tough.
Actually, this one's the easiest for me. Jaden Daniels.
It is Jaden Daniels. It could be Brian Thomas Jr. And
it could be Brock Bowers.
If Brock Bowers was a receiver, it's a different story and had a hairline. It's a different story and wasn't on the Raiders. It's a different story.
Yeah. But there's one thing that we know for sure. One of these guys will win this award.
Absolute sleuth out here. Thanks a lot, dude. Love your insight. My absolute, completely, definitely biased opinion is Jaden Daniels. He was too good.
I don't think that's a biased opinion. Just
No,
think it's a good opinion. That's a good.
It's like you can't. But like Brock Bowers, bro, you're insane.
Yeah, they're all insane, but
they're all insane. They really are. Offensive Player of the Year.
Saquon.
Yeah, I know Jamar got the triple crown. It wasn't terrific.
Saquon.
Stats. It has to be Saquon.
Nah, it's Saquon. There's no.
I want to say Burrow, but
no,
it's Saquon. It's Saquon. It's Saquon. Defensive Player of the Year.
TJ Watt, baby.
The year he doesn't deserve it, he'll probably win it.
No, he absolutely is not. They hate him so much. I really hope it goes to Zach Bond. I feel like Trey Hendrickson might get it, but I'm gonna say Zach Bond.
Yeah, but Hendrickson just had all he really had was sacks.
I mean, that's all really Myles Garrett did. I don't even know what Myles Garrett did.
Nothing.
To be honest.
Never does anything.
I think Zach Bond is I just think he deserves it the most because he genuinely had an insane season, and he came out of nowhere off the Saints' special teams. So,
yeah, I mean, look at tackles for losses. Myles Garrett has 22. TJ's got 19. Trey Hendrickson has 19. Forced fumbles.
Well, we already know.
TJ has 6. Trey Hendrickson 2. Myles Garrett 3. I don't even know who Zach Bond is at this list. He's got, I think, 1.
Yeah, well, I just think that if you really watched Zach Bond's game,
he's a freak. He's good, man. He's a beast. And
not to take anything from PS2 either. He had an awesome
season. Did, but I don't think they'll give it to a corner.
Nah. I don't think TJ Watt's going to get it. It's really between Zach Bond, Garrett, and Hendrickson. And I feel like Zach Bond should deserve it. I mean, he deserves it, so.
I'd say, yeah, Bond or Hendrickson, really.
Yeah.
I would say my for sure is, I think they'll give it to Hendrickson.
Yeah. You're also a Bengals fan, right?
No. Not a Bengals fan. And then the moment we've all been waiting for, MVP, who's it going to be? It's going to be a running back, but it's not Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Man.
I think it's Lamar.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Think it should be Burrow.
I think it should be Josh Allen.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, this might be one of the closest MVP races we've seen in a minute.
Yeah.
Who did Peyton Manning tie with? When did they do that? It was Peyton Manning and somebody else.
Oh, I don't even remember. But the one thing that keeps Saquon Barkley low in the list is that he's not a quarterback, and that's why I think he should
Steve
get it.
McNair in
Oh,
2003.
okay.
Him
Yeah.
and Peyton Manning got co.
Okay.
I don't
But
think they'll do that. I don't know.
no. But yeah, like I said, if Saquon were a quarterback, he's winning that award. But
I think it's Jackson. He's not my
Jackson, yeah.
MVP, but
No.
NFL says Lamar
Yeah, I
Jackson.
think Lamar's going to win it. I mean, statistically, he had an awesome season. But I just feel like Josh Allen was better watching him and more just. And you think about the players he's working with, like, they're not really that insane, like we talked about before. And I don't know. I just felt like Josh Allen was more dominant than Lamar was. But, you know, also Saquon Barkley was the most dominant. But
Right.
anyway, it's Lamar Jackson, 3-time MVP. Never a Super
Once
Bowl
again,
champ, though.
just let me say it, Elijah.
Go ahead.
Lamar Jackson will never win a Super Bowl
Nope.
as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Even like on a new team, like if he went to the Eagles,
He could go to the Eagles, but
he won't win.
if he does not play over 50% of a games, like in the season, maybe 60%, like if he's not the starting quarterback on the roster for the year, he will never win a Super Bowl. Sure, he can come in and for a hurt quarterback and whatever, but nah.
Nah.
Not if another quarterback got him to that point. All right, Here we go.
Steelers.
Here we go.
That
was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened? Tell us what happened, Levi.
Rooney, who needs to go, in my opinion. Who I don't think. Okay. Anyways, he says he would love to bring back Russ or Fields. Not and or. Not both.
Mm-hmm.
Uno. Single. One.
Yeah, it's not that he like doesn't want both of them. He just says it's very unlikely that you'll see both of them on the same team. He said that both of them know that they're starting quarterbacks, and he doesn't think that they both want to, play the same position on the team again.
No, and run the same system.
No. And I know that both of them do want to come back, though, because they've both said it. And but I feel like Russ is probably going to be the guy that's going to stay. So unfortunate, but just seems the most likely.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I know we won't do it, but if we're smart, we would. By keeping Russ, I think we set ourselves up better for the future.
And I honestly can't agree with that. I do agree with that.
You draft a quarterback.
Exactly.
Develop him under Russ.
Right. But now, which quarterback do you want from the draft? Like this year or a year or two?
I feel like it would have to be. This is a quarterback heavy draft class again.
Mm-hmm.
I think the guys that nobody talks about are really good, and I feel like the guys that everyone talks about aren't that good. I would say Will Howard is going to be slept on.
I was going to say that.
I think Jackson Dart is going to be. I think Jackson Dart will be slept on.
Mm.
I think that Shador may live up to his billing. I think Jalen Milroe might be slept on.
Yeah. But who do you want is what I'm asking.
Who do I want? Milroe is just a mini Fields. So I don't know about that.
I don't even know if Milroe's that insane.
He's not.
I mean, not to say that like Brock Purdy was insane in college, but I mean he was successful in the NFL, and it really.
But Milroe at some point is projected first two rounds.
Yeah, I agree. And if he's sitting behind Russ for a year or two, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But there's just something about seeing Will Howard. I don't like Will Howard, but there's just something about, like, I can see him in a Steelers uniform. And I would consider
I'm
him a
not even
pocket
lying, dude.
passer.
He could be another Big Ben.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I think.
He's more of a pocket passer,
But I like that. I
which
like
I'm
that about
happy
him.
about. But we have
Yeah.
to, upgrade this young offensive line.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and
But
that'll bring up another thing after you.
he's a
Yeah.
strong quarterback. He's a leader. I know I said he wasn't like, oh, he doesn't like seem like the guy that won the national championship. Yeah, I'm switching up on what I said. I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I have been very, very. The more and more I watched Will Howard, not just hating on him because he went to Ohio State, I think he can develop to be a very, very good NFL quarterback. And I think him in a Steelers uniform would make me cry.
Think about this real quick. Will Howard is right now projected late round. Late, probably like third, fourth round, I think. But his teammate, a wide
Anyway,
receiver,
Luka, I see.
if we draft
Listen,
him
bro.
first round,
Yeah, hey. This is why we have a pod because we're picking out what you're putting down, bro.
yeah,
This is
exactly.
what I'm saying. Listen, love it. I'm all for it.
That would be so awesome. And then maybe once, what's that guy? Smith is his last name
Jeremiah
Smith?
Smith.
Yeah, maybe once he
He
enters the
still
draft.
has a few more. I think he has 2 more years. So maybe you know what? By that time, Pickens, following a trend of many great Steelers receivers before him, may be on his way to a crash out.
But also,
Steelers.
will probably win a Super Bowl as a backup wide receiver for the Chiefs.
Yeah, probably. You know what? Probably. Or we trade him to the Bears.
Yeah,
That'd
that
be
would be
fun.
great. But anyway, yeah, if we ended up getting Ibuka and Will Howard sits behind Russ for a year or two, I'm completely fine with that as long as our future looks bright.
Right.
But
As
I
long as we
do,
don't put it off and think
mhm,
Russ is the answer.
yeah, and
Now,
I really go ahead.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
good.
sorry. No, you
Good.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna flip the script.
Okay, I was
So
gonna.
finish
Okay.
your thoughts on Russ.
Well, it was actually gonna be on Fields. So.
Okay. So flip the script. None of this happens because we're not the GMs of this team, as we should be, or the owners. Flip the script. Fields stays. Russ walks.
hmm
You
I
are
still like it.
playing with as much as a 50-50 with Russ as you are with Fields. And I mean that. Fields can, with the right offensive coordinator, with the right weapons, Fields absolutely can be a top 15, top 10 quarterback in the league.
hmm
I'm not even joking. Give him 2 years, he could be up for MVP. Or we just don't work out for him. And we're in a position now next year where we have to draft a quarterback, or we're in the same position where you're not going to, you at that point, if Fields doesn't work out, you're not going to develop another guy under him. You're gone. You have to leave him. There's a losing season. Do you fire Tomlin now because he's a losing season? And now we're stuck with no coach, no quarterback, and I would say maybe not even as strong as this draft class. I mean, in the quarterback position, yay, go ahead and go get Arch Manning, but we'd have to be really bad
Yeah.
to even be in a position for him. So,
Yeah. My thoughts are I would love for Fields to be the option next year, but I just don't know that he's a great fit. I don't see the Steelers having a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. If you really think about it, our team could have been just like the Ravens. We have a big, massive running back in Najee
that wants
Harris,
to run
aka
any
Derrick
when he
Henry.
feels like it. When
Right.
Pat Fryermuth's girlfriend doesn't feed him,
Yeah.
he's giving dinner.
And then we have that one shifty running back, Justice Hill or Jalen Warren. And then we've got a quarterback who can run around like he is a running back. But I just don't see the Steelers doing an offense like that. And I don't see that under
I can't.
Arthur Smith
And
either.
really, I was talking to my friend earlier today about it. If you gave me the decision, take away us even thinking about drafting a quarterback, I would move on with Fields.
Mm-hmm.
I hate saying that. I think I would move on with Fields. If we're looking to develop and say enough with the bridge work, when we say you keep Fields, I think you have to sign him to a 4 or 5 year deal.
Yeah, and that's the thing that my next point is like I don't know how much longer he can last as a quarterback. He's had a lot of injuries, and at some point he's gonna not be a dual threat quarterback as well as he was when he's 20
Right.
years old.
We've
You know
seen
what I
Lamar
mean?
tone it down. We've seen
Yeah,
Allen tone it down.
yeah. No, and they're still good and they're still great at that. But
But
it's
it's
got
not
it's
like, oh my goodness, there
yeah,
is a tiny gap between my guards and my center. I'm going to go run it for 80 yards. Like,
right. And I don't know
eventually by
if
your sixth and seventh season, I know Fields will only be going in the five, but still, 3 years in
yeah.
Chicago, one as a backup, like that's a lot of
Mhm.
wasted potential.
Right. And I mean, look at Russ. I mean, one of his abilities when he was a pro quarterback was his ability to
You're going to make
escape
me,
and
like,
run.
you're actually going to make me cry.
And obviously, he doesn't have that ability as much as he's
No,
used to.
not at all. He's still
And
quick, but
not that he's like terrible at it. It's just he's not as good as he was, and that was one of the things that made him great. Also, was that option that he had. But I think one of the things that makes Fields great now is that he mostly can do that. So when you're mostly a quarterback that can do that, and you're 35 years old and trying to do that, it's just not going to work. And so I don't see him lasting for more than 4 years on our team. And I'd rather just have a guy who's going to be here for Patrick Mahomes type contract. So um,
here's the tough thing. We looked at this season as we were going to make a decision, I think. And now we're stuck in a position where we're looking at another potential bridge. Listen, name me one team that was in the playoffs this year, other than the Vikings, that is on a bridge quarterback.
the Lions.
But Jared Goff is like a lock at their number one.
That's true.
Like
That's
he
another
played,
discussion, but
I mean,
yeah,
he's in the MVP discussion, so
you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're. I
nobody.
mean, Sam Darnold would be the only guy, which he wasn't supposed to be good.
Right. And he popped off, and he only got in because of injury. No other
Yeah.
team has two pretty good quarterbacks that they can choose from.
Mhm.
Nobody goes to the Super Bowl with a bridge. Oh, we'll put this one in and maybe put this one in. And you know
Yep.
what? We're going
And
to have
that's
packages for him because he's still really good and he's super athletic, but he's a
right.
better passer and can throw a moon ball. You know what I'm saying?
That's the saying: when you got two quarterbacks,
I
you
was
got no
just about to
quarterback.
ask you to say it. Say it
Yep.
again.
If you got two quarterbacks, you got no
You got no
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks. Amen.
So that's one of my favorite football
Right.
phrases.
If so, to wrap up, recap, I would move forward with Fields. Part of me wants to say that. Part of me really loves Russ. Still will. If we were promised a quarterback like Will Howard in the draft, and we know we're getting a Gabuka first round, stick with Russ. If not,
Mhm.
hey, if we got to suck for a year or two to get a good quarterback, then we do it. Whatever is going to win us a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Real
I'm
quick,
all for it.
one other thing that I started seeing in Steelers news, um, instead of Troy Fautanu playing right tackle, there's been talk of moving him to guard, which he has played before. Um, and well, what are your thoughts on it? And then I'll quickly say mine. But go ahead.
Nah,
You got any thoughts? No, you're
I don't think so. I'm happy with what McCormick did his rookie year, being a
but to
late
get.
round pick.
I think getting rid of Sumalu would be
I
the
think Daniels is gone.
position. Yeah, Daniels is definitely gone. There's no way he's coming back.
Yeah, but he was good. Like,
Yeah,
thank you for
I
your
no, he
support.
was good. It's just the injury, and then
He's old.
DeCastro Jr. came in and played
Yeah,
great,
absolutely.
all
No,
pro, all
I
rookie.
would draft a guard, and I would draft another tackle. Once again, Broderick did not have the competition that he needed.
Yeah,
Um,
my idea is get Wyatt Milam out of West Virginia, and I like the idea to move Troy Fautanu to left guard, get rid of Sumalu, maybe trade him or just cut him because he's probably going to be expensive. And then we've got a young offensive line that can hopefully develop to something great. Although I do like the experience that Sumalu has, but last year was not as great. He had injuries and he just wasn't
right.
all
Here's
that
the
great.
very very last thing. What
Okay.
we do with our O-line, or what we plan to do, will affect the quarterback situation very crucially.
Mm-hmm.
You keep a less expensive, less experienced offensive line. I think you have to go with, like if you keep the same current offensive line we have right now, I think you have to stick with Fields because
Okay.
he'll know how
Yeah,
to
I agree.
escape from the
100%.
trenches. If you go out and you make some moves, you upgrade your offensive line, you stick with Russ. You have a guy that
Yep.
can command. You have a guy that is a respected leader on the team. He's a respected player. He's a good veteran. That
Yeah.
is what helps a young offensive line grow, not a guy running around in the backfield just trying to get something, you know?
Yeah.
And by the time that they have reached the peak of their or getting into the peak of their potential or playing really well together as a unit, that's when Will Howard comes in.
Yep. And final thing. I mentioned we drafted Buka first round. Maybe second round we get Will Howard. Third round we get Judkins at running back.
He's not lasting until the third. He's first round.
Well then, at Buka, hope that Judkins lasts to the second. Will Howard third round.
So basically, replace Ohio State with triple Ohio State.
Exactly.
I think
Not that I'm an Ohio
Dodging.
State fan, but
I think we should.
we won't. We should, but we won't. So
I don't know.
Anyway, that will be the end of this episode, probably because we're at 50 minutes.
Yeah, 52 minutes later, but hey, we're chilling.
I know one of you will listen.
Oh yeah, yeah. I probably
DJ, thank you.
DJ, send us a heart in the chat, please, if you give it. We'll know.
Yeah, we'll know.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Levi Jenkins alongside here with Elijah Coer. This is another week of the Huddle. Upcoming is just the Pro Bowl and NFL honors. So
maybe we'll do a Goodell was good on that one.
Maybe we will. It'll be interesting. But next week we will go into a very in-depth prediction of the Super Bowl. Until then, I hope you all have a very great and blessed week. And
I like that.
Yeah, go Pens.
Yeah.
Whatever. And
go to that kid who turned down all the 30 years for the Paul Skeens card.
Give him a pat on the back because he's genius.
He's a genius.
Who would want to go watch 30 years of eternal suffering? Yeah, but thank you all for listening. We will see you all next week.
And I'm going to try this send out, and it may be the last time I ever do this, but break! You like that?
Yeah, just hold up. Ready? And we will see you all next week.
And do I just say it again?
No, you were supposed to say peace because break was terrible.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I get what you're doing because we're the Huddle.
Yeah, right.
Dude, wow.
Thank you. Okay,
maybe just
break.
add sound.
Peace.
Yeah, peace. Break.